Good morning, students. How are you all? I hope that you are all fine. Okay, I am going to do some activities related to combustion and fossil fuel lessons. First activity is to prove that combustion of a candle does not take place below its ignition temperature. Now, what are the materials needed for that? A lit candle and an aluminium foil. Now, method. Cut a piece of aluminium foil and slide it just below the base of the candle flame and above the melted wax. Now what happened here? First the candle was lit, then when I kept the aluminium foil over that, it gets extinguished. What do you conclude from this activity, students? The conclusion is the candle gets extinguished because the aluminium foil conducts away the heat and the temperature goes below the ignition temperature. So this is the first activity. Shall we do the second activity? The second activity is to prove that when a candle burns, it is the wax vapors that burn and not the liquid wax. So the aim of the activity is to prove that when a candle burns, it is the wax vapors that burns and not the liquid wax. What are the materials needed for this? Simple, a candle and a matchbox. Method. The first point is light the candle using a match. Then second point is blow out the candle. Immediately bring a burning matchstick near the candle flame. If suppose no smoke is visible, you hold the lit match above the wick. What do you observe? You will see that the flame from the match reignites the wick. So what do you conclude from this activity, students? When a candle is lit, it is the wax vapors that burn, not the liquid wax. So this is the second activity. Shall we see the third activity? Aim of the third activity is to prove that when a candle is lit, the liquid wax absorbed by the wick is converted into vapors. The materials needed are a candle, a matchbox and a pair of tongs or tweezers. Method. Light the candle using a match. Now, take a pair of tongs or tweezers and pinch the wick tightly just below the flame for some time. What do you observe? The flame goes out, that is, the flame gets extinguished. What do you conclude from this activity, students? By pinching the wick, the absorption of liquid wax by the wick stops, which cuts the flame's fuel supply and it extinguishes. So, today we have seen 3 activities using a candle. The fourth activity is to prove that carbon dioxide is produced on burning a candle wax. What are the materials needed? A candle, a matchbox, a glass jar, aluminium foil and lime water solution. Now, what is the method we have to use here? The method is, the first point is fix a candle into a glass jar. The second point is light the candle using the matchstick. Now, cover the beaker with a piece of aluminium foil. What do you understand from this? When you cover the beaker, the fire will be cut down or the air supply is cut down and the flame will get extinguished. So, cover the beaker with a piece of aluminium foil and cut the air supply. The fourth point, When you cover the beaker with the aluminum foil, the candle goes out or the candle gets extinguished. Slowly you remove the portion of the aluminum foil and take out the candle from the beaker. Now you don't disturb the contents of the beaker. Pour the lime water solution into the sides of the beaker. What do you understand, students? Inside the beaker there will be smokes or gas of carbon dioxide, is it not? So when you pour the lime water turns into cloudy. So what do you understand? The conclusion is combustion of candle wax produces carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide reacts with water to produce calcium carbonate. That's why we are getting the lime water that is turning into cloudy. Okay. So this is the fourth activity. So today we have seen 4 activities. Then with that I have to give some extra points also. That is the Indian company My Eco Energy, they have synthesized a clean and renewable diesel that is called as InDiesel. So the My Myco Energy organization or company, it is an Indian company. It has synthesized newly a clean and renewable diesel called InDiesel. Okay. Now what is the speciality of this diesel? This fuel has been recognized as a drop in fuel as per Indian national policy on biofuel in the year 2018. Next one is, see, when we study about petroleum, we have seen that it will take 300 or 400 million years, is it not? So petroleum was mainly formed by the decay of tiny, that is very small marine organisms, but it is not formed from the large land animals such as dinosaurs. Petroleum is formed due to the decay of tiny marine organisms. It is not formed by the large land animals such as dinosaurs. So this is the second information. The third information is, scientists at Scandia National Laboratories, it is in New Mexico, they have succeeded in producing a fuel such as petrol and methanol using sunlight and carbon dioxide. So scientists of Sandia National Laboratories, New Mexico, they have produced a fuel such as petrol and methanol using sunlight and carbon dioxide. So this is the third additional information. Then let us see the fourth information, that is ethanol is mixed with petrol and it is used in automobiles as a fuel in our country. Now the combustion of petrol and ethanol not only produces less pollution but also saves foreign exchange, as ethanol is produced in our country. Because ethanol is produced more in our country, it is supporting foreign exchange also. Then food items such as sugarcane, maize, wheat, sweet corn, sugar beet, starch, that is food such as corn, then cassava, damaged food grains like broken rice, rotten potatoes that are unfit for human consumption are used in the production of biofuel. So from the waste food materials, people found out a new diesel fuel called biofuel. So the combustion of petrol, ethanol blend not only produces less pollution but it also saves the foreign exchange. because ethanol is produced in our country only. So we don't want to buy from, or we don't want to import from other countries. Okay. So food items such as sugarcane waste, maize, wheat, sweet corn, sugar beet, starch rich foods such as corn, cassava, damaged food grains, broken rice, then rotten potatoes, that are not used for human consumption. That is, we are not using these things, damaged things, for eating purpose. So these are all used for the production of biofuel. So that's all today's portion, students. Now I have to give some additional points related to the air pollutants, main air pollutants that are released when fossil fuels are burned, is it not? The first one is carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide is a colorless, odorless and tasteless gas, and it is produced by the incomplete combustion of fossil fuels. Now suppose if you expose yourself, or if you are near carbon monoxide gas, it will cause for us headache, dizziness, and even it will lead to coma stage, and it will lead to death also. Then the second air pollutant is carbon dioxide. Suppose carbon dioxide level in the atmosphere increases, what will happen? The global warming takes place. That is, our globe get warmed more. The temperature will increase in the globe or in the earth, and due to that polar ice caps and glaciers melts, and due to that the sea level will rise, and all the coastal areas will be submerged into the water. So this is the second air pollutant and its cause. Then the third one is oxides of sulfur and nitrogen. That is sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxide, or nitrous oxide, or nitric oxide. Now these oxides, when petrol and diesel is burned, it will be released. So this will react, these gases will react with oxygen and water vapor present in the air, and it will be changed into sulfuric acid and nitric acid. So when it is raining, sulfuric acid and nitric acid, it falls back to the earth, causing acid rain. So acid rain, it will damage the plants, buildings, then aquatic life, even for the soil also. So this is the next air pollutant and its cause. Then the last one is soot particles. What is meant by soot particles? The black particles, black residue that is left when fuels are burned, that is called soot particles. Now these soot particles are introduced into the air, and due to incomplete combustion of fossil fuels, wood, coal, petroleum, etc., these particles will enter our bodies. When we breathe, it will enter our bodies, and it will trigger asthma disease, or it will create, or it will induce asthma attacks, and we will be affected by wheezing, coughing and respiratory irritation. Now, okay, we have studied all these informations. Then how to conserve this fossil fuels? Once it is depleted, we will not get again in a very short time. It will take, in order to regenerate this fossil fuels, it will take millions of years. So how to conserve these fossil fuels? First of all, we can consume or conserve the fossil fuels by the judicious use of existing resources. We have to use less, or we have to find alternate source of energy such as tidal power, wind energy, solar energy and nuclear energy to meet our fuel needs. So this is the way we have to conserve the fossil fuels. That's all, children. Thank you.